Hello and welcome to another episode of Learning to Play the Guitar. Last episode we learnt the E chord, the time before that we learnt the A chord, and before that the D chord, which are all going to be useful because now we're on to A, D and E chords, easy chord changes using anchor fingers. And this is still following justinguitar.com's beginner course. And let's get into it. And I will say that learning this will be probably quite difficult to start with because it's a fundamental technique that we need to grasp in order to learn to play. I mean, I wasn't amazing at this. However, I did feel that I did pretty well at the stage I was at learning to transition between the D, the A, and the E fairly quickly. I probably wasn't amazing, but I was proud at how fast I could do them at that stage. So it's probably going to be difficult to start with on your fingers. Moving your fingers along these metal strings probably will dig deep, but don't give up on it, okay?
Hi, how you doing? Justin here again. Hopefully you've now got together your A chord, your D chord and your E chord. Unfortunately, we're about to hit the first very challenging part of learning the guitar, which is the realization that the hard part here is changing between the chords, not playing the chords. You thought that last bit was a bit tough and your fingers are sore? Yeah, okay,
Yep.
It is a bit, but now the really tough part is realizing you've got to change between the chords quickly. Now, one of the reasons I taught you the A chord with this kind of not the traditional fingering is because it means that we can use a thing that I call an anchor finger to change between the chords, and that's going to be your first finger. By leaving your first finger in contact with the string all the time when you're changing between the chords, kind of gives you a reference point and means changing between all the chords is loads easier. So let's go to a close-up now and let's have a close look at the way I'm going to get you to use this anchor finger to change between all of the three chords that you've learned already. Okay, here we are for a look at our D chord.
D chord.
Now the first thing that we're going to try changing between is the D chord and the E chord, because this shows the anchor finger nice and clearly. So there's our regular E chord. Now in the old days you might have gone, okay, let's change to an E chord, and you would have lifted all your fingers up and then you would have tried to put them down again and gone, oh, there's first finger, second finger, third finger, oh, there we go. And then changing back to D and you go, well, okay, where's it go? Yeah, that's how we do it. But now what I'm suggesting is that to change from D chord to E chord, there's your D, you lift off your second and third fingers,
Lift.
but leave your first finger down and instead slide it back one fret and then put down your other two fingers. So it kind of already gives you a bit of guidance there as to where your second and third fingers are going to go. To change back to D, you lift them up, slide the first finger forward and put the other two back down again. Lift them off, slide it back, put it down. And what I'd recommend you do as a little exercise before we get to the next lesson, which is about how to do this really quickly, you practice just strumming your D chord and then off, slide back, two fingers down, E chord. Lift the fingers off, slide it forward and D. And just try and get used to that idea that that first finger is guiding your change. So D to E, there, two fingers off, slide back, two fingers back down, two fingers off, slide up. The first fingers actually can stay in exactly the same place, only it can't quite because you end up getting a bit crammed. So what you're going for this time is D to A, you lift off the two fingers, first finger slides back just a tiny bit. It's not having to slide back a whole lot, and then you can replace those second and third fingers in their right spots for the A chord. So there's your D, and there's your A. There's your D, and the first finger's just moving just a few millimeters, sliding up a little bit for the D. Then
Now, as you can
lows
see,
off.
Justin's
First
moving
just a
from
touch back, because remember it's got to
the
stay in
A
that
to
same
the
fret.
D very smoothly. However, I still have trouble going to the D all at once. Because if you look, it's actually quite difficult to get when you're beginning, to get your both fingers down on the D at the same time. This third finger wants to go down first, and then your second finger. So that's something that I want to be working on, and it will help me to change between them faster, because it causes a little bit of a delay when I'm trying to get both fingers down, but I can't. 'Cause look, it's a lot quicker to go to the A than it is to the D because of that. So. But at this stage, it doesn't really matter. Just try to get it in the right place, even if it takes you a little while to get there. But if you notice already, my finger, it does cut deep. So I hope after I've played for quite a while, my calluses will develop. But it doesn't hurt, really. It is a bit sore, but you can power through it. But if it does get too unbearable, remember to take some rests. You don't want to start bleeding out or anything. It's never happened to me, so don't worry too much about that. But just be aware that they will get sore. And you may find it difficult to begin with.
And there's one more change left, of course, which is A to E.
A to E.
So if we look, there's our A chord. To change to E, lift off second and third fingers, slide the first finger back, put second and third fingers down in the right place. There's your E chord. Slide first finger forward a bit, put down your second and third fingers. Again, do it as an exercise. A, stop, lift off, shift, down. E, muted, lift off the fingers, first finger up, put them back down again. And just try and get used to that, practicing making that little move.
A,
then maybe jump to D.
E, D,
back to E.
D,
A, or maybe over to D. And just see if you can get used to that idea of that first finger staying down all the time.
E, A, D.
You will find that if you can get this anchor technique down properly, and it'll really work for you, and it'll speed up, probably double the speed that you can play those chord changes once you've given a little bit of practice. Remember as well not to press too hard, especially with that first finger. If you're pressing really hard all the time, your first finger is going to get really sore. You don't want that. The maximum pressure that you should put down is the amount that it takes to give you a nice clear note. There's no point in pressing hard, all you're going to do is hurt your fingers. So have a little bit of fun with these anchoring. Once you're familiar with the movement and the changes between each of the chords, you're ready to start trying to do them as fast as you possibly can in 1 minute changes.
Interesting. I don't feel like I'm pressing down very hard with my first finger, but still, it's still quite sore regardless. So that was easy chord changes, or supposedly easy, and next time we'll be practicing, I suspect, how to change between them quickly. Let's just recap a little. That's the A chord. Lift up, go across. E chord. Lift up, go across. D chord. A chord. E chord. D chord. A chord. Remember, that's just me checking that every string sounds good and is ringing correctly. D chord was so. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope I'm doing this correctly, and I'll see you next time. Thank you.